Hello, my name is Khánh and today I will talk about my recording. First, the first materials. A very long time ago, people didn't build homes. They slept in forests and caves, hunted animals, and collected fruit. They also made things from materials that they found around them. What did they make and what material did they use? Flint and fir. People made the first tool from a stone called flint. They used the flints in their hands or they fixed them to pieces of wood or animal bones. People used flint tools to cut wood and to hunt animals. In cold countries, they used animal fur to make clothes and shoes. Wood and plants. People use wood and plants to make shelter, simple places to sleep in. They cut wood from trees to make the shape, the shape of the shelter. Then they use other plants to make the roof and the walls. Some people still make homes like this today. People use grass to make thread. They push the thread over and under other thread to make clothes and bed. This is called weaving. They also make baskets by weaving thin sticks. Baskets are great for carrying and catching fish. Clay. About 10,000 years ago, people mixed sand and grass with a type of soil called clay to make a material called adobe. They put the adobe into mold and let it dry. Adobe became very hot and so people use adobe brick to build first house. In many hot countries, people still build adobe house today. People also learn how to make shape from clay. They put the clay shape into a fire to make pottery, bronze and iron. Some rocks have metal in them. About 8,050 years ago, about 8,500 years ago, people discovered how to use a product called smelting to get material out of rock. The first metal, like gold, was very soft. Then people mixed two metals together to make a hard metal called bronze. They used bronze to make tools and weapons. Later, they used another metal called iron. Stone. About 5,000 years ago, people started to live in big towns. They built some. They built stone walls around their towns. They also used stone to make buildings like temples and palaces. Stone is waterproof and much stronger than adobe. Finding materials. It can be very difficult to find material, and many of them come from under the ground or underwater. How do we find and collect the material? Seeing under the ground, we find different minerals in different types of rocks. People called geologists study different rocks to find minerals in them. They also study rivers and oceans to see what minerals are in the ocean. Other scientists use machines to measure how electricity and radio signals go through different rocks in the ground. They also use trucks that hit the ground and then machines measure the ground move. This tells them about the rock and mineral under the ground. People People use oil platforms to get oil from under the ocean. Some platforms stand on big lakes under the water. It is difficult to get oil because the water is very deep and the weather it can be bad too. Water and soil. Salt is a mineral that we use for cooking and lots of other things. People can get salt by putting seawater into pools. When it's sunny, the water evaporates, but the salt stays in the pool. Later, people collect the salt. In some places, that there are gems or minerals in the soil. People use water to get them out of the soil. To find gold, people put soil in a round object called pan. When they wash the pan with water, the grain of gold go to the bottom of the pan. That is the end of my recording. Thank you for listening.